A nation divided, slavery and the balance of power. The early 19th century in the United States was marked by growing tension over the issue of slavery. The nation was divided geographically, with northern states generally opposed to slavery and southern states economically and culturally tied to it. This division was most evident in the US Senate, where each state had equal representation. Maintaining a balance between free and slave states was crucial to prevent one side from gaining an advantage. The Louisiana Territory, acquired in 1803, opened up for potential statehood. The addition of new states threatened to tip the scales of power. The issue of slavery in the territories became a major point of contention. The Northwest Ordinance of 1787 had prohibited slavery north of the Ohio River. However, the Louisiana Purchase had no such provision. This ambiguity fueled anxieties on both sides of the slavery debate. The North feared the expansion of slavery, while the South saw it as essential to preserve their way of life. The Missouri question igniting the crisis. In 1819, the territory of Missouri, carved out of the Louisiana Purchase, applied for statehood. Missouri's petition for entry as a slave state ignited a firestorm of controversy in Congress. Northern states, alarmed by the potential growth of slave power, vehemently opposed Missouri's admission as a slave state. They argued that allowing slavery to expand beyond its current boundaries would be morally wrong and would set a dangerous precedent for future territories. The debate over Missouri exposed the deep sectional divide over slavery and its future in the nation. Representative James Tallmadge Jr. of New York proposed an amendment to Missouri's statehood bill that would gradually abolish slavery in the new state. The Tallmadge Amendment stipulated that no further slaves could be brought into Missouri, and that children born to enslaved people there would be freed at age 25. This proposal, though ultimately unsuccessful, further inflamed tensions between the North and the South. Southern states viewed it as a direct attack on their way of life and an infringement on their state sovereignty. The Missouri question, once a regional issue, quickly escalated into a national crisis, threatening to unravel the fragile Union. The Great Compromiser, Henry Clay's solution. As the Missouri crisis threatened to tear the nation apart, Henry Clay of Kentucky, known as the Great Compromiser, stepped in to find a solution. Clay, a skilled negotiator and Speaker of the House, recognized the urgent need for a compromise to preserve the Union. He understood that a solution required addressing both the immediate issue of Missouri's statehood and the broader question of slavery's expansion. Clay proposed a series of measures that became known as the Missouri Compromise. The compromise allowed for the admission of Missouri as a slave state, satisfying the South's immediate demand. To appease the North and maintain the balance of power in the Senate, Maine, which had been part of Massachusetts, would be admitted as a free state. This simultaneous admission would ensure that neither side gained a numerical advantage in the Senate. Furthermore, the compromise drew a line across the remaining Louisiana Territory at latitude 36 degrees 30 minutes, prohibiting slavery north of this line, except within the boundaries of the newly admitted Missouri. A fragile peace legacy of the Missouri Compromise. The Missouri Compromise, passed by Congress in 1820, was celebrated as a victory for reason and moderation. President James Monroe signed it into law, believing it essential for national unity. However, not everyone viewed it favorably. Thomas Jefferson compared it to a fire bell in the night, fearing it postponed inevitable conflict over slavery. In the short term, it preserved the Union. It maintained Senate balance and provided a framework for new states, but it failed to address slavery itself. By containing slavery geographically, it deepened the North-South divide. The Missouri Compromise underscored the growing tensions, foreshadowing the Civil War.